It was almost midnight when I heard the knock. At first, I thought I imagined it. My apartment building was usually very quiet at night. Most of the neighbors were older people who went to bed early, and nothing interesting ever really happened in our hallway. But then I heard it again. A soft knock. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just 3 quiet taps on my door. I glanced at the clock on my phone. 11:47 p.m.
Who would knock on my door at that time?
For a moment, I just sat on the couch listening. Maybe someone had the wrong apartment. Maybe one of the neighbors needed help. Finally, I stood up and walked slowly toward the door. Hello. I called through it. No answer. That made me hesitate. Normally, when someone knocks, they say something. But the hallway outside my door was completely silent. I placed my hand on the handle and slowly opened the door. The hallway lights were dim, casting long shadows across the floor. At first, I didn't see anything. Then I looked down, and my heart stopped. Right there on the floor in front of my door was a small basket. Inside the basket was a baby, a tiny baby wrapped in a soft white blanket. For a second, my brain couldn't process what I was seeing. I looked up and down the hallway. Hello. I called again.
Still no answer.
The hallway was empty.
No footsteps. No voices.
No one running down the stairs. Nothing. Just silence. I looked back at the baby. She was asleep. Peacefully asleep, as if nothing unusual had happened. My mind raced through 1,000 questions at once. Whose baby was this? Why was it here? And most importantly, why was it left at my door? I carefully bent down and looked inside the basket. The baby couldn't have been more than a few months old. Her tiny hands were wrapped inside the blanket, her breathing slow and calm. For a moment, I just stared at her, completely frozen. Then suddenly the baby moved. Her eyes opened slightly, and she began to cry. A soft, helpless cry.
Panic rushed through my chest.
I quickly lifted the basket and carried it inside my apartment. The crying grew louder. I had never held a baby before in my life. Not like this. Not alone.
Not in the middle of the night.
Hey, it's okay, I whispered nervously. I placed the basket on the couch and gently picked her up. She was unbelievably small.
And warm.
Her crying slowly quieted as I held her. I looked around my apartment, still trying to understand what was happening. Maybe someone left the baby by accident. No, that made no sense. No one forgets a baby. Maybe someone rang the wrong doorbell. But then why didn't they come back? My hands started trembling. I walked back to the door and looked into the hallway again. Still empty. The elevator doors were closed. The staircase silent. Whoever had left the baby was already gone. I stepped back inside and locked the door. Then I looked down at the little girl in my arms. She had stopped crying now. Her eyes slowly closed again, as if she felt safe. But I didn't feel safe. I felt confused and a little scared. I carried her back to the couch and noticed something I hadn't seen before. There was a small envelope tucked into the side of the basket. My heart skipped. Carefully, I pulled it out. There was only one word written on the front. My name.
Emma.
My stomach tightened immediately. How did they know my name? My hands felt suddenly cold. Slowly, I opened the envelope. Inside was a single piece of paper. Just one short message written in neat handwriting. 5 simple words. Please take care of her. For a long moment, I just sat there staring at the note. Please take care of her. 5 simple words.
No explanation.
No name. Nothing. My heart was still racing. I looked down at the baby in my arms. She had stopped crying completely now. Her tiny fingers were curled around the edge of the blanket. She looked peaceful, like she belonged there. But none of this made sense. Why would someone leave a baby at my door? And more importantly, how did they know my name? I read the note again. The handwriting looked calm, careful, not rushed. Whoever wrote it had time, which meant this wasn't a random mistake. Someone had chosen my door. Someone had chosen me. A cold feeling crept through my chest. I quickly stood up and carried the baby back to the basket. Then I grabbed my phone. My first instinct was obvious. Call the police. This had to be reported. But as I opened the phone screen, something stopped me. The baby moved again. A soft sound escaped her lips. Not quite a cry, just a quiet little noise. Almost like she was searching for comfort. I looked down at her again. Her face was small and pale, but beautiful. And suddenly, a strange thought crossed my mind. Whoever left her here must have been desperate. No one leaves a baby like this unless they have no other choice. Still, the situation was serious. I dialed the emergency number. My finger hovered over the call button, and just as I was about to press it, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. My stomach tightened. Slowly, I opened it. The message contained only one sentence. "Did you find her?" My heart skipped a beat. Whoever sent that message clearly knew exactly what had happened. My fingers trembled slightly as I typed a response. "Who is this?" The reply came almost instantly. "You don't know me." I stared at the screen. My breathing felt shallow again. Another message appeared. "But I know you." The room suddenly felt colder. "How do you know me?" I typed. There was a pause this time. Several seconds passed. Then another message appeared. "You're the only person I could trust." My chest tightened. Trust? We didn't even know each other. At least, I didn't think we did. I typed another message. "Why did you leave a baby at my door?" This time the reply took longer. Nearly a full minute passed. Then my phone buzzed again. "She's safer with you." I looked down at the baby again. She was still sleeping, completely unaware of the strange conversation happening above her. My thoughts raced. None of this made sense. "You need to explain what's going on," I wrote. For a long time, there was no response. I stared at the screen waiting. Then finally another message arrived. And the moment I read it, the air left my lungs. "Because they're looking for her." My fingers froze over the phone.
Who?
I typed quickly. The typing indicator appeared on the screen, then disappeared, then appeared again. Whoever it was seemed hesitant. Finally the message came through. "My family." A chill ran down my spine. "What do you mean?" I asked. Another pause. Then the final message appeared. "They'll come for her." My heart began pounding again. "What are you talking about?" I typed. But this time, there was no response. The message had been delivered, but never read. I waited. 30 seconds. A minute. 5 minutes. Nothing. The number had gone silent. I slowly lowered the phone and looked down at the baby again. Suddenly the quiet inside my apartment felt very different. Not peaceful. Not calm.
Heavy.
Like something invisible was hanging in the air. The words echoed in my mind again. "They'll come for her." And, at that exact moment, someone knocked on my door.